Hi, and welcome to Culture Lit, a podcast and community that explores Black women and romantic love through the lens of romance novels. I'm your host, Octavia Marie. Each episode of Culture Lit trains a spotlight on a new Black romance novel and then deep dives into the many themes facing Black women and love after 40. Be ready to laugh, sigh, and talk about Black women falling in love, yes, sex too, and the Black authors writing their stories. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Culture Lit. I'm Octavia Marie, and today I'm exploring another topic that's close to my heart, love after 40. Now, I know the industry often calls it seasoned romance, but let's be real. We know that women over 40 can still get it. And not just get it, but get it in ways that are deeper, more free, and filled with the kind of magic that only comes from truly knowing yourself. This episode is all about celebrating the strength, resilience, and rejuvenation of mature Black heroines in romance. These stories prove that age is nothing but a number when it comes to adventure, passion, and yes, romance and sex. With age comes the beauty of not giving a damn. And in your 50s, you've earned it. The opinions of others mean nothing, and no comes out easier than ever. And that, my friends, is the ultimate cheat code to happiness. These 4 books embody just that. We're discussing some fantastic titles that explore love flourishing after 40, including Elegance the D by Tanvier Peart, Losing Sight by Tati Richardson, Macy by Marley Ray, and Candidly Yours by Reese Ryan. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfy, and let's explore why mature love isn't just possible, it's downright inspiring. Let's address the elephant in the room, though. Society often paints romance as something that happens primarily in your 20s and 30s. But here's the truth. Love doesn't have an expiration date. Mature Black women have lived rich, full lives, gained wisdom through their experiences, and they deserve to experience passion and adventure just as much as anyone else. In fact, with age comes a depth of self-knowledge and resilience that only makes for even more captivating and authentic romance. I've made it to my 50s, and I can tell you firsthand, if you do this life thing right, it should keep getting better every decade. My 40s were definitely better than my 30s. And even with a cancer diagnosis and treatment, my 50s have still been magic. Pure magic. Because by now, you know yourself. You know what you want. You know what you won't tolerate. And you go after the love you deserve with a confidence that's completely different from when you were younger. In our culture, we've sometimes been taught that youth is the prime time for love. But I'm here to tell you that the beauty of life, especially for Black women, only deepens with time. Every wrinkle tells a story, every scar a lesson, and every laugh line is proof of a life well lived. And when it comes to romance, these experiences give mature women a unique kind of magnetism that younger heroines might not yet possess. There are unique joys and challenges of finding love later in life. For many mature Black women, the dating scene isn't just about finding a partner. It's about reclaiming their narrative after years of being told what they should or shouldn't do or how they should look. There's a liberation in saying, I'm here, I'm whole, and I'm ready for love on my own terms. But it's not always easy. One of the greatest gifts of getting older, you effectively don't give a fuck. And in your 50s, you've earned that. The opinions of others mean nothing. There are cultural narratives that suggest that love is for the young. But the books we're discussing today challenge that notion in the most delightful ways. They show us that the heart is timeless and that every chapter of life offers its own kind of romance. And if we're talking about romance, let's be real, Erotic romance in particular gets it right. In the really good ones, the sex not only drives the plot, it deepens the emotional connection. It peels away layers and emotional walls as the characters bone their way to a happily ever after. That's the genre convention, and I'm here for it. Think about it. After decades of navigating career challenges, family responsibilities, and even past heartbreaks, stepping into the dating world as a mature woman means you bring a wealth of experience to the table. There's a freedom that comes with no longer feeling the pressure to conform to youthful trends or societal expectations. Instead, there's an emphasis on authenticity, self-respect, and a commitment to personal growth. However, it's not always easy. Sometimes mature women face skepticism, both from the dating pool and even from within their communities about whether they can still spark romance. But yeah, they show us that the heart is timeless and that every chapter of life offers its own kind of romance. Hey, romance book lovers. It's your host, Octavia Marie, and I've got something exciting to share with you. You already know how much I adore Black romance books. Now I have taken it to the next level. Introducing Culture Lit Podcast digital bookstore on bookshop.org. Visit bookshop.org/shop/Culture Lit Podcast. That's bookshop.org/shop/Culture Lit Podcast. This is the spot where you can find every swoon-worthy romance novel I've ever raved about on the podcast and so much more. Not only can you snag your next favorite read, but every purchase supports independent bookstores and celebrates the voices of Black authors in romance. It's a win-win for readers like us who love keeping the Black romance literary community thriving. Thank you for being a part of the Culture Lit Podcast community, and happy reading. I can't wait to hear what books you fall in love with next. And with that, let's kick off our discussion with Ella Gets the D by Tanvier Peart. This title might catch your eye and even make you chuckle, but trust me, there's so much more than meets the eye. This novel is a bold celebration of mature love. Even though Ella is technically in her 30s, she's 39 when the story begins. Ella isn't defined by her age or by societal expectations. She's a vibrant, confident woman who knows her worth and isn't afraid to challenge the norms, particularly after discovering her husband cheating on her in their home. In Ella Gets the D, Tanvier crafts a narrative where Ella embarks on an adventure of self-discovery and passion after the painful yet liberating separation from her egotistic, rude, and misogynistic soon-to-be ex-husband Charles. She navigates the dating world with wit and determination, proving that a woman approaching 40 can be both fiercely independent and incredibly romantic. The book doesn't shy away from the realities of separation, single motherhood, and modern relationships, but it also offers plenty of humor, heart, and yes, some very steamy scenes that remind us passion isn't just reserved for the young. As Ella navigates the turbulent waters of her new life, she embodies the strength and resilience that many women can identify with, regardless of their personal circumstances. And what I really love about this novel is how it turns conventional expectations on its head. Ella isn't just waiting for someone to rescue her. She's out there carving her own path. And when romance does find her in the form of Julian Brooke, one of DC's most eligible bachelors, it's a testament to the fact that confidence and self-assuredness are incredibly attractive. This book delivers a fun, slow burn, chemistry-filled dynamic between Ella and Julian. Their almost instant attraction is far from superficial, as the author skillfully develops their relationship with depth and nuance. Julian's character brings humor, confidence, and refreshing honesty to the story. The way he supports and builds up Ella from the beginning is admirable. They are the epitome of relationship goals, and Julian has undoubtedly become my book boyfriend of the year. Beyond the romance, I absolutely loved watching Ella fall in love with herself again and her new life. She wasn't very happy in her marriage, and while it's easy to judge her for staying with Charles despite his flaws, the reality is that many people remain in relationships for far less significant reasons. Ella's journey of self-discovery and empowerment is both inspiring and uplifting. Another element of Ella Gets the D that I found thoroughly enjoyable was the emphasis on Ella's friendships. The level of support, encouragement, empowerment, and care within the female relationships in this book is heartwarming. My close friends are much like Morgan, Erica, and Ella herself. These relationships add a rich layer to the narrative, highlighting the importance of a strong support system as we navigate life's challenges. Ella Gets the D will have you laughing, smiling, squealing, and eagerly anticipating how she rebuilds her life while navigating her attraction to Julian during her year of legal separation. It's heartwarming and empowering, and a read that reminds us it's never too late to start over and find the love you deserve. Next up is Losing Sight by Tati Richardson, a novel that takes a deeper, more introspective look at love after 40. In this story, our heroine, Tanika Ryan, faces a professional setback when she's demoted from her crown jewel of sports kids Thursday Night Football after hitting 40. She knows ageism and colorism are at the root of the decision, as her replacement is a beautiful young woman who knows nothing about sports or journalism. To make matters worse, Tanika has no choice but to get glasses after years of ignoring her deteriorating vision. This is where she meets optometrist Gideon Miles, who is working to revive his practice after losing his wife to cancer. They have instant chemistry, but Tanika initially holds back due to her extensive travel schedule. What adds a beautiful touch of magical realism to this story is that when Tanika's new glasses arrive, they allow her to see people's auras. It's a charming, mystical element that reaffirms her ability to judge the intentions of those around her, both in her professional and her personal life. Over time, Gideon and Tanika develop a flirty friendship via text. Though Tanika often interviews other potential romantic interests, like a young hotshot Formula One driver and a sexy older rodeo star, none are as appealing as the handsome optometrist back home in Atlanta. What resonates with me most about Losing Sight is its honest portrayal of the emotional complexities that come with midlife. The novel is laugh out loud funny while still being a poignant exploration of how people navigate the personal and professional challenges of aging. Tanika and Gideon's romance is a masterclass in creating characters who struggle with life's disappointments while still being playful and sexy. I particularly love Tanika's boss chick village. That was her group of friends, all Black women at the top of their careers. The story explores very realistic and relatable issues that women over 40 face. And yes, it also features hot over 40 sex. Because yes, we do it too. Richardson's novel reminds us that sometimes losing sight of who you thought you were is the first step towards seeing yourself more clearly. Now on to Macy by Marley Ray, the first book in the Whip and Fade series. After ending an ultra-conservative marriage, Macy Lovett, a talented master colorist in the hair industry, moves to Greenwood for a fresh start. She's also the newly appointed manager at Whip and Fade Barber and Beauty Salon, where she pours her heart and soul into her craft. Life seems to settle into a peaceful rhythm for her and her 16-year-old son, Andy, as they adjust to the complexities of co-parenting with her ex-husband. But when she meets Gavin Gray, a renowned artist known for his captivating erotic paintings and free spirit, her life changes dramatically. Drawn together by their artistic sides, Macy and Gavin's lives intertwine seamlessly. Gavin, with his unconventional career and mellow personality, supports Macy as she discovers her hidden passions and embraces her true self. As their connection deepens, Macy learns to let go of her past and embrace the beauty of new beginnings. The chemistry between Macy and Gavin is electric. It practically leaps off the pages. Some parts of the story get hot and heavy, and I loved every minute of it. This brings me to an important point about romance novels, especially erotic romance. The sex isn't just there for titillation. In really good erotic romance, sex not only drives the plot, but it's integral to the romance arc. And I loved every minute of it. One of the most frustrating characters in this book is Anderson, Macy's ex-husband, who is incredibly manipulative. Throughout the story, I question if he ever really loved Macy, or if it was just the familiarity of their relationship that kept them together. In the end, I was glad Macy got out of that situation and stayed true to herself, her goals, her creativity, and her heart. Macy's story shows that you can always go after your dream, no matter your age or circumstances. The reward is never what you expect, but always so much more. Gavin is a fantasy of beautiful colors with swag for days, and his pursuit of Macy is swoon-worthy. Thank you, Marley Ray, for always giving us a real-life, grown folk story with mature, well-deserved endings. Last but not least, we have Candidly Yours by Reese Ryan. This novel is a refreshing and witty take on romance for women over 40. In Candidly Yours, we meet Layla, a woman in her 40s who unexpectedly reconnects with Quincy, her younger brother's best friend from high school, who is now 10 years her junior. Layla knew Quincy since forever, but when she meets him by chance at a local restaurant, she's surprised to find he's not a young kid anymore. Quincy has lost his stutter, filled out in all the right places, and become a famous photographer. The only thing that hasn't changed is his crush on Layla. After raising her siblings following her mother's passing and working hard to establish her bridal and carnival costume business, Layla has always put others first. She's always liked Quincy, but struggles to accept that their age difference isn't as relevant as it once was. When Quincy invites her to participate in a documentary he's filming on various carnival cultures around the world, she's reluctant, but can't resist accepting. What I love about this novel is that Layla is in her 40s, she's centered, responsible, and always puts everybody else's wishes first. The story is filled with sharp, memorable dialogue and moments that are both heartfelt and hilarious. It's a story that celebrates vulnerability and authenticity, proving that there's power in being true to yourself. This novel also explores the dynamics of relationships later in life. It looks at how past experiences, whether triumphs or heartbreaks, shape the way we approach love. In Candidly Yours, Layla learns to embrace her past and use it as a foundation for building a future filled with possibility. It's a love story that doesn't rely on cliches or predictable plot twists. It's refreshingly real, with characters who feel like friends you would invite over for dinner. Romantic, steamy, full of color and life, Candidly Yours reminds us that love can find us at any age, sometimes in the most unexpected places. Now, let's zoom out a bit and talk about the broader implication of these stories. What do these novels tell us about modern love, especially for mature Black women? For starters, they challenge the notion that romance is the domain of the young. In these books, love is vibrant, complex, and endlessly creative, regardless of age. They flip the script on the idea that experience and maturity somehow make us less desirable. Instead, they show us that confidence, wisdom, and knowing what you want are incredibly attractive qualities. The heroines in these stories are living proof that you can be both mature and magnetic, that you can have a life rich in passion and adventure long after your 30s. Technology and modern dating apps may have changed the way we meet people, but these stories remind us that true connection isn't about swiping right or left. It's about embracing who you are and finding someone who honors that. I've discovered that one of the best kept secrets about getting older is that you become increasingly unbothered. I thought I had reached peak unbothered in my late 40s, and would coast at this rate. But no, you get even more unbothered with each passing year. The cheat code to life: accepting that you will never know what you're doing. At some point, you embrace that reality and you get less stressed and a lot happier. There's a powerful sense of resilience and rejuvenation in these stories. For mature Black heroines, the journey to love isn't just about a new romance. It's about reclaiming their power and rewriting their own narratives. They are not defined by past heartbreaks or societal limitations. Instead, they're stepping into their power with grace, humor, and a determination to live on their own terms. Take a moment and imagine the courage it takes to face societal expectations head on. These women have weathered storms, navigated challenges that many of us can only imagine, and they've come out stronger on the other side. Their love stories are infused with that hard-earned wisdom. They know what they want, they know what they won't tolerate, and most importantly, they know that their worth isn't dictated by age or appearance. This is why it's so important to celebrate these narratives. They give voice to a segment of our community that has too often been overlooked in mainstream romance. They show that love after 40 isn't a consolation prize. It's a triumph, a vibrant chapter in the book of life where passion, adventure, and commitment flourish in unexpected ways. As a woman navigating life in my 50s, I've discovered some game changers that have made this decade truly magical. And here they are. Get the sleep that you need, ditch excessive alcohol, limit the sugar, lift weights, walk at least 5 to 6 days a week. These have been absolute game changers for me at 54. As someone who's navigated the ups and downs of love over the years, I know firsthand that every stage of life offers its own beauty. There's something incredibly inspiring about mature love. It's real, it's raw, it's unfiltered. The heroines in these books remind me that I too deserve to be loved and cherished no matter what my age. But I'd love to hear from you, my amazing listeners. Have you experienced the transformative power of love later in life? Do you have a favorite romance novel featuring a mature Black heroine? Drop me a message on social media or shoot me an email at hello@culturelitpodcast.com. Let's celebrate these stories together. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to consider how the romance genre is evolving. There's been a seismic shift in recent years, with more stories focusing on diverse experiences and voices. Mature Black heroines are no longer relegated to the background. They're taking center stage, leading narratives that are as compelling as they are honest. I believe that these stories are paving the way for a future where love is inclusive, multifaceted, and celebrated in all its forms. Whether it's the fiery passion in Elegance the D, the introspective journey in Losing Sight, the artistic awakening in Macy, or the witty candor in Candidly Yours. Each of these novels contributes to a larger conversation about what it means to love and be loved later in life. The beauty of romance is that it evolves with us. The challenges we face, the lessons we learn, and the love we find are all part of a continuous journey. A journey that, as mature Black women, we navigate with strength, grace, and unapologetic authenticity. So to all the incredible women over 40 out there, know that you deserve love, passion, and all the sex this world has to offer. Your stories matter, and these novels serve as a celebration of your resilience and vitality. Let's break the stereotypes and show the world that mature love is vibrant, dynamic, and oh so worthy of being celebrated. If you haven't already, I encourage you to pick up one or all of these titles we discussed today. Again, Elegance the D by Tanvier Peart, Losing Sight by Tati Richardson, Macy by Marley Ray, and Candidly Yours by Reese Ryan. Immerse yourself in these tales and let them remind you that love after 40 isn't just possible, it's powerful. As I close today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. The beauty of life is that every chapter, no matter how seasoned, holds the promise of a new beginnings, fresh adventures, and unexpected love. Embrace your journey, cherish your experiences, and remember that your age is your strength. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Culture Lit. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with your friends and loved ones. I love to hear your thoughts on these novels and your own experiences with love after 40. Let's continue to celebrate the beauty and diversity of Black romance literature. Until next time, keep loving, keep thriving, and remember, women over 40, we can get it, and we do it with style. You've been listening to Culture Lit with Octavia Marie, and that's all for us this week. Be sure to listen, download, or subscribe to more episodes of Culture Lit. You can find Culture Lit on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Apple listeners, please be sure to leave a review and let us know what you think. Don't forget to talk to me on social or share your Black love stories at Becoming Octavia Marie on Instagram or XO Octavia Marie on Twitter.